Hello and welcome to the WomenIN Festival studio. Today we are joined by the amazing Nande Mabala, who is a dynamic leader, an advocate for sustainable development, Miss World South Africa first runner-up, founder of the Nande Mabala Foundation, and a content creator. I'm sure there's so much more I'm missing because you just wear so many hats. But thank you so
Yes,
much for joining us today.
thank you so much for having me, Nancy. It's lovely to be here. I'm very excited for the festival. I can't wait to see all the women and all the men that will be there and just to network and learn and leave better than what I came in as.
Yes, and we're so excited to have you because you're balancing so many roles. You're a leader, you're an advocate, content creator, Miss World South Africa first runner up. What keeps you motivated to keep doing what you do?
The initial reason why I do what I is because I know where I come from, and I know that there aren't many examples of people living outside of what is normal, and so that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me motivated. I know who I'm doing it for, and it's not myself. And once I started the Go Green South Africa project, and I saw the light in the children's eyes when I was at the school, and just how excited they were to be making their own food, I then knew that as much as I wear so many hats, I have to do everything with 110% because there are people watching. So it keeps me really motivated to keep going and make sure that I show up 100% for each hat. That at every hat that I wear, there are people that are watching and they're watching specifically. So in all that I do, I need to make sure that I do it with diligence. And that also takes making sure that you have time management and knowing where you are and showing up as what you need to show up as in that moment, remembering your audience and remember why you invited essentially.
And if you don't mind me asking, what was it that inspired you to kick off this journey of Miss World South Africa, of deciding to be a leader, an advocate, all of these things? What was it that inspired you to finally start and say, this is what I want to do with my life?
So for me, what inspired me was watching Miss World in 2014. And I was mostly inspired by Rodine Strauss, being that she's a South African woman. And at the time, she was advocating for period poverty, which is something that nobody was looking at the time. And just seeing her on a world platform and seeing other women on a world platform and knowing that these women are there because they're beautiful, yes, but it's mostly what they advocate for and what leadership platforms they've put themselves on. And seeing women take charge as doctors, as policymakers, as dentists, I then realized that there's so much space for women in the world, and I want to be one of the first. Let me also be a first and to go forth and take on the baton that they really started on that world stage. And so that really informed what I studied, what I did and did not do in high school and primary school, I mean high school, sorry, and in university. There'd be moments where, peer pressure happens and you remember that I one day want to be on Agnes World. And there's a certain type of woman that you need to become. And so in all that I did, and that is what motivated me, that is what kept me focused and catapulted where I am today, knowing that I want to be a woman that is a leader. And what does a woman who is a leader look like? What does she say? How does she wake up? What kind of friends does she have? What kind of school results and marks does she have? And so that informed everything that I am and everything that you see today.
Yeah, and that's also one of the reasons that I was so excited to be able to be a part of a project like the Women in Festival, just because we're bringing together so many women who are showing other women that it is possible to be a leader, it is possible to break down barriers in male-dominated industries, and I think that that's just such important work, and I'm so excited that we're just going to be surrounded by all these phenomenal women trying to uplift each other and teach
Women
each other.
up, like women that you've looked up to for so long and you've seen them and haven't been able to ask the questions that you've wanted to ask them. And I just know that there's something about representation and what it does for the imagination and for dreaming. And Women in Festival is just going to take it's going to take it higher. It's going to take my ambition, my strive, my hard work. It's going to catapult it and make it 10 times better. I know that.
Yes. And so if you
Yeah.
could give advice to any young woman that's going to be attending the Women in Festival, specifically on female empowerment and self-affirmation, what would that advice look like?
The advice would be I would really step into a place that has phenomenal women. you feel like you don't deserve to be there. And that the self-sabotaging, the inner saboteur starts speaking, and you start psyching yourself out. So the advice that I want to give you is to come expectant because you are going to learn. You're showing up for yourself, and you're showing the woman that you want to be 5 years that it's possible for her. So I want you to leave all of the many shackles that hold us here and tell us that we aren't enough. You leave it at the door, and when you step in, you know that you're a room, a phenomenal woman. And as you see them on the stage or sitting with you or behind you, you know that you're in the room because you're supposed to be there, and you're one day going to be even better than them because they're using the button on TV. And that is what women empowerment is about. It's about having this
Yeah.
room in a space where we open up the door, we get scrutinized so that you who is coming to the Women in Festival, you are able to walk in there and to make it 10 times better than you were. I want you to let go of any thoughts that you have, limiting thoughts, and for you to come in with an open mind, a childlike mind, ready to learn, ready to be better than you were, and to know that you deserve to be there.
Yes, I love that. A childlike mind, just a curious
Yes,
mind that's ready to learn. I
yes.
love that so much.
A mind that's not
And
a,
I
because see someone who you've always looked up to and you'll be afraid to go to them. So a child isn't afraid to ask the questions or to go up to people. So I want you to have a childlike mind and curiosity as we say in this
yes.
place.
Yes, and I think that's really what's led us to the positions that we're in right now and to be able to do what we do is that we started somewhere but we never said we're never going to make it to this position. We weren't afraid to take the steps. So for you to be able to develop into the person that you are now, what's been the most unexpected lesson that you've learned taking on all these amazing responsibilities?
The one thing that this year has taught me a lot is that there's no space for fear and limiting beliefs. Because people forget that yes, we enter pageants, but pageants highlight parts of you that you didn't know were there. Because when you get there, all the women are there, they deserve to be there, and all of them have phenomenal resumes. And it's unfortunate because you will compare yourself to them. And this year has taught me that my voice is necessary and my voice is needed. And another woman is phenomenal, but I am too. And it's not about me when I don't get the title. I just don't fit the bill of what they might have been looking for, but I'm still absolutely phenomenal. And the work that I'm doing and the my voice and my advocacy and my leadership is still needed in the world, irrespective of the outcome. So that has been the number one lesson that I learned this year that it's not that I'm not good enough. I just was not the fitting person for that role. And it's something that I've learned in modeling. It's now something that I've learned this year through pageantry. And it's something that I'm going to take with myself, take it throughout my life that yes, I might get a no here, but I'll get a yes somewhere else. And all the lessons that I learned from getting this no is only going to take me higher and push me further. And every lesson that I learned was necessary for the path that I'm going to the trajectory of my success.
Yes, exactly. And I can totally relate to that as well because I've recently started acting. And one thing that I've learned is that rejection is something that is definitely going to be experienced, but you learn to take that rejection as a lesson and a blessing. And you say, this one isn't for me, but this is for some other phenomenal woman who's going to be so happy to get this role and they're going to do so
Right.
amazing. And there's a reason that this one isn't for me. And I think that builds on something that you said earlier that we're building each other up. We're not trying to say like, okay, now I'm trying to take up as much space and leave all the other women behind. No, it's about uplifting them as well and making sure that we're growing together.
Sorry, and I always say when it comes to taking space, I think people forget it's something that I taught myself. When I come into a photo shoot or an interview or whatever the case might be, I don't ever, there's nothing more horrible that you could do for yourself than coming in and acting like you know when you don't know. Taking up space looks like coming into a space and saying, this is what I know, but this is what I need help with understanding and knowing, and then everyone else around you starts helping you so that you can show up 110% in that thing, in that take up space. So I women because we see from women, we think that they don't ask for help, we think that they know everything, we think that they don't get nervous, we think that they know they always need. No, it's through the no's, it's through the failures, it's through the hurdles that we're able to get to the place that they are in. And I've seen them, some of the most wonderful women, like Naz, for example. Naz is not, Naz, she's not afraid to ask. If she doesn't know, she'll ask. And then you see her take over as if you didn't just tell her the story. She didn't, now she knows it. She's a novice of it now. And I think that's what taking up space looks like. Understanding your strengths and leading with them. But when you see that you don't know something, it's okay to ask them.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing that with us today. Just before we wrap up, is there one thing that you could say to everyone to say this is why you should be at the Women in Festival?
There is nothing as important as knowing that you can be taught about understanding soft skills, and soft skills being courage, confidence, communication for connection. These things are what are going to carry you through life, and they're going to help you get into places and spaces. And there's nothing better that you can learn that from than people that have walked in the spaces that you want to walk in. There are going to be women in tech. There are going to be women in wellness. There are going to be women in social media entrepreneurship. So you are definitely going to be seen. You're going to see someone who resembles what you want to be. So I urge you to come. And you're also going to get the opportunity that not most people get is to speak to people that are in high places, in the places that you want to be in, so you can ask the questions and get the network more than anything. You can get the number, you can get the email, and they'll be in close proximity with you. If you are someone who has felt like this year you might not have grown in ways that you wanted to, and there's only a few months left of the year, if you want to finish the year off strong, this is the place for you to do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nandi. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and
So much,
speak to us. It's been such an honor to have you.
thank you for the honor is mine.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I guess we will see you at the Women in Festival. Thank you so much.
You see, I hope to see everyone who's watching buying it right after listening to
Right
this, and
now.
I'll see you at the WomenIN Festival right now.
Great. Thank you so much, Nande. And to all our viewers who are watching, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Thank you for watching and book your tickets now. Early bird ticket sales are closing soon, so don't wait.